everyone, it's Karen with Yes Please PaperCrafts, and today's video is going to be on organizing ribbon, twine, and trims that you have stored on a spool. And so I did a video a couple weeks ago about storing ribbon on hang tags and then putting those hang tags onto a big ring. So let me share with you the ring. I will put a link to the description in the video below for the video where I shared this ring and the hang tags. But I did this video, I guess it was a little over a week ago, and I have this out there. Now these are the hang tags, and I used my Cricut. I created these in Cricut Design Space, and it is available free out on Cricut Design Space, and I will put a link in the description of this video to the project file. I also have an image file that you can download if you have a Brother Scan and Cut or you have the silhouette. You can go and join the Facebook group Craft Room Organization with Yes Please PaperCrafts. And if you put a link to that group in the description of this video as well. If you click on that link and then request to join, you'll get added to the group, and then just go over to the files in the group and you can find the cut file, or not the cut file, but I guess I have a silhouette cut file, but for the Brother Scan and Cut I just have the PNG image that you can use, and you can use that to cut on your Brother Scan and Cut. Okay, and so I was doing that video and I got to thinking about this ribbon ring, and the reason why I like this is because I can bring this entire ribbon ring to my workspace where I'm working on my scrapbook page, or if I'm making a card, and I can try out different ribbons and find one that I like. And it's kind of like being able to bring all my ribbon right to my workspace. And so this is for all the ribbon I had that was like under a couple of yards. Well, I have ribbon that I have a lot of yardage, like for instance Stampin' Up. When you get Stampin' Up ribbon, it's an awesome ribbon, and they give you 10 yards. So it's on a spool, and I don't really want to take it off the spool. And so I was trying to think about how could I add that to this ribbon ring so I have all my ribbon on this one ring, and so that I can have it available when I'm working on a project. I can look through and find the ribbon that I need, and I don't have to go run to a closet and try to look through a ribbon that's on a roll. And so I got to thinking about it. I thought, well, I could take a couple of yards off the roll, put it onto one of these hang tags, and then I'll just notate on the ribbon tag that I have more of that ribbon. So that's what I did. I cut a couple yards of ribbon and I put it on the hang tag. And then for instance here you'll see this particular ribbon, which is a really pretty pink and white polka dot. It's got SU1 written on the hang tag, and I know that's Stampin' Up Spool 1. And if I run out of this ribbon when I'm making a project, I know that I can go and grab some more of that ribbon from my closet. Okay, and so I just wanted to share that with you guys because when I'm talking about the rest of this organization, it's going to play off of that idea. And let me just share with you, this is my ribbon spools, and what I did was I just took a little round sticker and I put it on there, and I just wrote on there Stampin' Up 1. And so this is the ribbon that matches that ribbon I showed you that had the hang tag that said SU1. And so that's kind of how I'll know that I have more of that ribbon and where to go to get it. Okay, so let me just go ahead and share with you something else while we're talking about ribbon. If you notice on this spool, I have this stuff on here, and that keeps the ribbon on the roll. This is called thread net. And I have a video about this as well, and I'll put a link to that video in the description below. But it's just like, this is something that quilters or embroidery people that do sewing, they use, and you can put it over your spool of thread to keep your spool of thread from coming off the spool too quickly. And also use it to store your thread because it keeps the thread from coming off the roll. Well, you can also use it to store ribbon. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I'm also going to be using that thread net in this storage solution for my twine and my trim. And just so you can get an idea, if you haven't watched the other videos, this is what thread net looks like. And you can just cut it into whatever size you need. And I also have this one here. This is also thread net. These are just 6-inch strips. And then this is one long continuous roll of thread net. Now, one of the things I noticed when I was looking at this was I originally bought these 6-inch strips, and this was more expensive than this one. But one of the things I noticed as I was working with this thread net is that this one here is actually, it's not as good for doing really small things, because this has a much tighter weave to it. I don't know if you can see that. This is much stretchier. And so I like this one better, but I couldn't find the link. They don't sell it anymore. So, but they do have some that are similar to this. But I just wanted you to be aware of the difference. They do have differences in the thread net when you go to buy this. And there's differences in the price. And that's part of the reason is because, you know, you have some that are a much tighter weave, and then you have some that are a much looser weave. I also noticed when I was looking at it the other day that there's different sizes of thread net, because you know you can have really small spools of thread, and then you can have those giant cones of thread. So when if you decide that you want to buy some of this thread net, you just need to keep in mind you probably want to get thread net that's small for the smaller cones of ribbon, because this stuff stretches quite a bit. You can actually take this, I've cut off a piece about this big and wrapped it around a roll of ribbon that was about you know, 6 or 7 inches big. So it does stretch quite a bit. So you don't want to get the ones that are super big, because if you want to put it around stuff like this that's small, it's not going to work too well. So just keep that in mind if you decide that you want to get some of this thread net, that you want to make sure you get some that is a tighter weave and that has is for smaller spools of ribbon. Don't get the, I mean smaller spools of thread. Don't get the big ones, okay? So let's see. Let's talk about this twine. So I have this twine, and one of the reasons why I was thinking about storage for this is because I moved this. It used to be right behind where I work, my workspace is, in these Alex drawer units that I have. Well, I got more washi tape and I needed that drawer for my washi tape, so I moved my twine to another Alex drawer unit across the room. And so whenever I make a tag now for a layout, I have to get up and go across the room and try to, you know, pick the ones that I want. I'll go back and figure out if any of those work, and I'll keep going back and forth between that Alex drawer unit and my workspace. And so I really wanted this to be closer, but I didn't want to take up a whole drawer for this twine. And after I did the ribbon hang ring and I started putting my ribbon on those hang tags, I got the idea. I said, well, why couldn't I take my twine and put that on a hang tag? And so I did. And so I made this particular one. This is my twine hang tag, and also got trim here because I think I'm going to do the trim as well. And what I did was I just took a couple of yards of each color of twine, and I put it onto this hang tags, and then I wrote down the number of where the rest of that spool is located. And so what I did was I made my bins, bin A, bin B, bin C, and then I just numbered all the spools. Now I did put these little numbers on here. I don't know if those are going to stay on there or not, because it doesn't look like they're really grabbing hold of that thread net. But the reason why I did that was because I have a couple of spools of twine that don't have the cardboard on the inside, so I didn't have any place to put a number. And so then once I started putting the number on here, I just decided maybe I would do it on all of them because it was a lot easier to see. But if you have the ones where they have the cardboard, you can actually just write the number inside the, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can find a bigger one. Let's see. I don't know if I can find one where you can actually see it. I think you can see that. Let's see. Okay, this is fun. I don't think you can see it, but it's kind of like what I did with the washi tape, where I just, in the insides of the spool of washi, I took a pencil and I just wrote in there the number. So this B4 is actually, I wrote it on that. I can see it, but I just can't get it to show up on the camera because it's so tiny. But I wrote B4 on this side, I wrote B4 on that side, and so it's actually on the cardboard in here. But I did have a couple of rolls where I had no cardboard to write on, so then I just started putting these little labels on there, but I don't think they're going to stay on there. So I might have to come up with a different solution to mark the ones that have no cardboard. yeah, I'll have to think about that, but so I don't think that'll work, but anyway, I did write all of the numbers down, and so I can see it here. It says B6 in the inside, and if these fall off, it's okay, you know. Okay, so like, what else did I want to say? So we have, I talked about the thread net, I talked about the twine and the reference numbers, and this is kind of funny because it's almost like the organization that I'm doing as I go from paper and then to washi tape and to ribbon, and then this is kind of like a combination of the washi tape and the ribbon together, and came up with this idea. So yeah, it's kind of fun as I'm coming up with different things and different ways to store and organize things. It's kind of playing off the things that I've done in the past. And so yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention was I really love having this on this ring because I'm actually hanging this on the side of my Rascard cart. And my Rascard cart is where I have all my tools and my scissors and glue and just everything I need to work on a project. And so I can wheel that Rascard cart to wherever I'm working in my room, and this is going to be hanging on the side of it, so I will have it with me wherever I'm working. So that's going to be super awesome. And if I go to make a tag for a layout and I need a piece of twine, I'm going to be able to just grab this right off the side of that Rascard cart and not have to worry about trying to go find it somewhere else in my craft room. So yeah, I'm super excited about this storage solution for my twine. I think I use the twine more than I do the ribbon, and so yeah, this is going to be really handy to have really close by. So I also wanted to mention that I'm planning to do something similar with trim. And if you notice here on this particular ring, I have this one piece of trim here. I have all of this pom-pom trim that I got from AliExpress, and I'm going to be taking that and putting that on ribbon rings, or ribbon hang tags, and then putting it on a ribbon ring as well. And so I think I'm going to be doing this with pretty much everything in my craft room that is that can be hung from these tags like this. I think it's going to be a really awesome way to store this to make it, you know, more accessible and easy to find in my craft room. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, I have in my first video where I talked about these hang tags, I have a giveaway that I'm doing. If you don't have an electronic cutting machine and you would like to have some of these hang tags, if you go over to that other video, which I'll have a link to that video in the description below, you can write me a comment that has the word ribbon in it, and I'm giving away 200 of these hang tags that I will cut out of this clear acetate. And that is open, that giveaway is open to both international and US. I'll mail it wherever you are, whoever wins. It's going to be a drawing that I'm going to be doing at the end of October, and the winner will be announced on November the 1st. Okay, so for this video, there's a secret hidden giveaway in this video because I'm going to be giving away an additional 200 of these hang tags to a winner, and it can be US or international, if you leave me a comment that says hang tag or has hang tag in the comment, and I will I'll leave it open until the end of October. You have till the end of October to leave a comment, and then I'll do a drawing for that as well. So I'll have 2 winners, one from the first video and then one from this video. So you have 2 chances to win if you go and leave a comment on this video and also a comment on the other video. Okay, so that's all I have for you for this video today. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you would like to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.